Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Krishiarts. First of all, very happy new year to each and everyone who has been supporting me. Let's start with the new tutorial today, drawing with charcoal powder. I personally prefer this charcoal powder. The brand name is Color. It is available in Amazon.com. It's not so expensive, and there are other brands as well. One of them is General's charcoal powder, but I personally like this brand. The tools which we use for drawing with charcoal are a blending stump, a flat brush, and a round tip brush, and last but not the least, a Q-tip or an earbud. So let me give you a few examples how to draw with charcoal powder. Okay, let's start drawing an eye here. I'm going to just make an outline. Okay. So this tutorial of using the charcoal powder is the techniques are across the board will be the same. You just need to keep practicing. It won't come with one or two practices. You need to just keep practicing using the charcoal powder. So I'm going to take my round brush here. Always the pressure of what you put on the paper matters most here. So always start with using very light pressure just to fill out the area. Then you can make the adjustments and like do the fine movements according to the drawing, the reference picture. So let me fill out the area here. As you can see, we already got the texture of the skin here, but if we work more on this with fine details, I'm sure you're going to get a pretty good outcome. So I'm just still trying to draw the skin texture around the eye. So this movement is going to really blend the powder well, but you can just play with it and create the texture as you like. But I always like this circular movements. I personally feel that will sink in the powder pretty good on the paper. Okay. Layering is the key. If you want it to be a lighter shade, just one or two layers would do. But if you want it to be more darker, make sure you add at least 3 to 4 layers of powder. Or you can just mix and match, like you can just add one layer of powder and then take a pencil and add another layer with the pencil and draw another layer of powder on top. So it all depends on your the practice. So here I'm gonna use a Q-tip here for darker shades. So I'm gonna add another layer on top of this. So as you can see, the second layer is much darker than the first layer here. So I say that layering is the key for all the drawings. You won't just achieve the output in just one layer. It looks so superficial. So the second layer, I'm adding it with the Q-tip and a little bit more pressure than the first layer. So for drawing these eyelashes, you can directly use charcoal powder, or you can just put one layer of charcoal powder and take a charcoal pencil and add another layer for a better look, like more natural look. So first I'm using this charcoal layer just for the charcoal for the first layer, and on top of that I'm gonna take my charcoal pencil and add another layer on that. Okay. Now I'm going to use my flat brush for blending this pencil. Or you can just continue with the Q-tip. Okay, now I'm going to draw inside of the eyeball. As I always say, for more natural look, never leave the eyeball white. Just draw it like gray or blue or reddish for a more natural look. And take the charcoal pencil again for drawing the iris. I'm not drawing all the way, like I'm not completing the circle here, because the iris is never dark on its borders, so for more natural look, so you have to just blend. So like that, so that will add more light and appears more natural. So always I always prefer circular movements here, which will blend the charcoal powder and the pencil together pretty well into the paper. So if you want to add an extra layer of charcoal, you can just use this smaller flat brush, or just use the Q-tip for fine details. And make sure you always draw a little bit darker at the angle of the eye, because it is mostly covered by the eyelid, so we will leave some shade down below. Something like this. I want to add another layer of powder around the eye, because I see some white patches here from the paper, so I'm not really satisfied with that, so I want to add more layers here. This may fade off, but it's okay, I can add another layer with my charcoal pencil. I'm not worried about that. You can also use black pastel colors here, black pastel. You can either use pan pastel or just the regular pastels. That will make it appear much darker. So that may look better as well. So that's just an option here. Now let me focus on just the iris here. So I want to add more details here. Here, because this is much the fine movement here, the fine details here, I want to add it with the sharp tip, so I'm using my blending stump. I'm not pressing it too hard on the paper, just use the light pressure but do the repeated circular movements. Just bring the strands out. Okay, here I'm gonna use my mono eraser just to add more highlights here, more light into the eye to make it look more natural. Okay, wanna use a white charcoal pencil here. So as you can see, this makes the eye look real. Just blend it with the stump, and you can just use a white marker or a white pen just to make these highlights appear much brighter. Okay, now I'm gonna add some eyelashes here. Oh no, before that we actually need to add more details here. So let me add some wrinkles down under the eye. Wrinkles are pretty easy to do. Just draw a black line with a small pencil and take a mono eraser and draw another line just beside that, attached to that, so that appears more of a natural wrinkle. Don't make it too bright or too dark, just make sure it stays right in the middle. So you can see that looks like more of a wrinkle, and here there are some pores, so I'm going to just draw some small dots here and take a pencil and just draw a U, or just draw a half circle on each pore, on each dot circle you have drawn with the mono eraser, so that appears like a pore, as you can see. Now if you want to add more detail here, you can just make it dark. Again, blend it with the stump, and we know there are more wrinkles here above on the eyelid, so I'm going to just draw a few lines parallel to each other here. Again, take my mono eraser pen and just draw below those lines. For them to appear much brighter, you can either use the white charcoal pencil and draw along the same lines, or just use the white pen. So both of them will make it look better. I'm working at the angle of the eye. Basically all these white markings here are the reflections of the light. Okay. After adding all the details, then you have to work on adding the lashes. Just draw small groups of lashes under the eye. and they may be there in different directions, not in one particular direction. Just blend it with the blending stump, or you can just use a 0.5 pen. I'm gonna add more lashes here. So you can see this appears to be more natural here, more realistic. Just follow these simple techniques here with the charcoal powder and keep practicing. I'm sure you all will do better. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment below, and if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel for more videos, and please like all my videos for more updates and more different tutorials on each subject. Thank you so much. You all have a good day.